Welcome to this course. In this one, I'm going to talk about more of a general view about calisthenics. I'm not going to go into a specific skill, but I'll explain how this whole journey kind of summarizes and how it can change your life. How I'll go into like a lot more detail than I do on YouTube. I'll talk about how it changed mine. I'll explain how you could do it the fastest and how you can do it the most effectively. And yeah, that's basically it. All right. So the first thing you have to know is that this journey takes a long time, right? You probably already knew that, but me saying it to you maybe reminded you and kind of allowed you to, take it in, right? You got to know that because if you're someone that likes quick results, if you're someone that doesn't want to work that hard for a specific skill, then calisthenics is not for you because these skills take months, years. They could take a while to learn, right? And some skills you can't even try to learn until you learn other skills, right? So it's this whole tree of like unlocking these certain skills to unlock other skills. And, that takes a long time, right? And so that's really the first thing you have to know, that it takes a long time. Just put your head down, do what you can, improve progressively, and yeah, right? But other things you have to know are you got to stay positive in this, right? You can't really, if you're like negative, if you don't want to do something, if you are like, this skill is going to take forever, there's no point in starting because it takes forever, right? That's not going to work either because these skills can be frustrating, right? These can take a while. You might not see progress even weeks in. But really, that's just a test, right? That's just an obstacle. And the obstacles, as you know, are there to only let the determined ones through. They're meant to keep out everyone else. So if you get through an obstacle, just know that you've done something not many other people would, and you should be proud of that, right? So just think about that every time you feel like you're not making progress, and that should help you through, right? Another key mindset thing is to stay positive. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is that the mind is basically connected to your muscle in this sense, right? So let's say someone compliments your body or a certain skill you do. That makes you more confident in it, that makes you happier, and you'll have a good session that day, right? Or you'll feel stronger and better. Same thing as with the planche or with the front lever or with any skill, right? If someone says, "Oh wow, that handstand was so cool that you did," you'll feel a lot better about it. You'll be like, "Oh, thank you so much." And maybe you'll start a conversation and make a new friend, or maybe you'll just feel happy, right? And that's really what you got to know. So when you learn any skill, no one's going to compliment you, right? No one's going to say anything because you suck. Just kidding. But you'll be good soon, right? And what you got to do there is just keep your head down, or keep your head up, and wait until you see progress, right? That's all you can do. Time passes either way. You might as well learn something during that time. And once you get to the point where you can do cool skills, people will start recognizing it and seeing the hard work you put in, seeing the result, and that'll make you more likely to progress, right? So basically, once you get to that point, you're good, right? You got all the motivation you need. You can keep going easily because you see what you've done already. So just getting to that point will allow you to propel a lot further, a lot easier. And that's really what you got to focus on. You got to focus on getting to that point because that's the hard part. That's where you won't necessarily have the motivation because you haven't really seen the progress yet. So as soon as you get there, that's where you need to be. Then it's easy to go. But getting to that point is the challenge. But you got that. You just keep going. know what you're training for, remember what you started for, and you'll get it. So let's move on. So there's 3 calisthenics basic skills, right? There's the pull-up, there's the push-up, and the dip. And these skills help unlock every other skill. Like any other skill that you can think of can be started from one of these. So if it's a pull skill, like the front lever, the sat, it's the pull-up is the basic skill for that. And what I mean for that is, in the tree of calisthenics, all skills stem from one of these, right? And if you neglect these, if you don't do these, and you just try to go for the skill that you want, planche, for example, without doing any dips or push-ups in order to build like initial strength, you're going to get it super slowly. You're not going to build any muscle, and it's just going to be super inefficient, right? So the better thing would be to start with the foundation skills until you're strong enough to start training planche or front lever or whatever you want, right? And this kind of depends on the person, but you kind of know when you're strong enough. Like, once you're bored of the foundation skills, once you're bored of doing dips and push-ups, and you can do enough of them that it doesn't really matter to keep training, then you'll know you're done. But it kind of changes for each person. And yeah, the other thing I want to say is that these exercises also build the most muscle in calisthenics, because it's more sets and reps rather than static strength or dynamics. And so with these, and especially if you had weighted, you're going to make the most muscle. So yeah, there's that. So basically, if you're just getting into calisthenics, you're going to start with these exercises in order to build up to the skills that you want. And if you've still been doing it a while, a lot of people just do weighted, or they just do normal and try to go for a good amount. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Move on to the next one. Alright, so we have already covered everything you need to know about the pathway, but now it's just kind of a more general overview on what you could do during your time spent on calisthenics, how you progress, basically. So as I mentioned last video, every skill branches out of the 3 foundation skills. So let's say you're very new to fitness and you've never started before, right? You might spend, let's say, 6 to 9 months on average doing the basic skills, right? Just to build up your foundational strength and your tendon strength, so they'll be ready for more advanced skills in the future that really use those muscles to their max. And so yeah, that was just like a hypothesis. I don't really know how long someone would take. It could be more, it could be less, but let's just say. And then, so after you find yourself in a good position with foundation skills, you're left with a choice. You could continue those, but add weight, and that's weighted calisthenics. You could do dynamics, which is more swinging around the bar and doing cool tricks like that. And there's statics. And statics, I think, is the most popular one, although statics is also paired with dynamics a lot of the time. And so those are more together. I don't really know how to describe it, but alright, let's start with weighted. Weighted, since it's sets and reps, makes by far the most muscle, right? So if you go into weighted, you're gonna build a pretty good physique, and it's pretty rewarding actually. Like weighted, like seeing the weight go up in pull-ups or push-ups or dips. I mean, you can't really do weighted push-ups, but for dips and pull-ups, it's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I recommend it. But yeah, you could really combine any of the three together, but the most common one is dynamics and statics, because dynamics is low intensity normally, right? And it's easier to work together with statics when you're on the bar rather than you can't do weighted dynamics. That doesn't exist, right? So the other two really combine a lot better, the statics and the dynamics, and people combine them during routines and stuff. So if you want to do those, or if you just want to do statics, then that's an option too, right? But for weighted, you just try to go up in weight as much as you can, and it makes you unlock a lot of very good strength that can be applied to other skills. So if you're very good at weighted pull-ups, you're going to find the front lever a lot easier to learn than other people, because you already have this very strong foundation, this very strong base, and you're just going to unlock it faster, you know? Same for dips and planche and other push skills, right? It makes your foundation from this, let's say your push-ups and pull-ups and dips foundation from before, the 9 months one, was a wooden base. It would make it a concrete base if you did weighted. I don't know if that made sense, but you know what I mean. And so yeah, so I do statics the most, which is what I'm going to talk about. And so statics are really separated into two different things: push and pull. And so the push ones mostly take the so the static skills are separated into two different things: push and pull. And I'll go more into that in the next video, I think. So how long would a complete journey take from the first dip to full planche or multis? It really depends on the person. It depends on some of it's genetics, like your height, just how well you respond to each workout, and the consistency that you put in. Well, I mean, that's not genetics, but the other two are. But I don't know. I would say for the average person, it could take 4 years or more, 4 or 5 years. Like, for example, I'm just now unlocking like 1.5 second full planches, and I've been doing it for 2 years. Whereas there's some people that unlock like a 5 second or an 8 second full planche in a year. And so it really depends on the person. It depends on, yeah, what I said before: your height, your consistency, and how well you grow strength from workouts. So yeah, go on to the next video, and I'll see you later. Okay, so I mentioned this before, but in calisthenics, there's two different types of static skills. There's push and there's pull. And both of them are kind of the yin and yang of statics, because they're opposites. And so let's start with pull skills. Pull skills like front lever, sat, one arm pull up, weighted pull ups, normal pull up, I don't know, whatever else. I guess some of those aren't statics, but whatever. Yeah, so they focus mostly on the back, like the lats, and as well as some smaller muscles like serratus anterior, I think. That might be wrong. I don't know. But basically, they're pulling movements, so you get a bigger back, or a stronger back, actually. That'd be more accurate. And for the pushing skills now, it's the opposite. It's just shoulders, some chest, whatever else. Yeah. It's just the opposite thing. So it's like planche, handstand push-ups, normal handstand, Maltese, and yeah, other stuff. And these movements kind of work in, they all work multiple muscles. So your body learns how to use different muscles at the same time to perform these movements. That's what's called a compound movement. And basically every calisthenics exercise is a compound movement. And so your whole body really gets stronger, except for your legs if you don't train them. Train your legs, please. So both of these, both pull and push, can use similar muscles. So for the planche, at least, you use biceps as well as the shoulders and the core and whatever else. And for the front lever, you'll use biceps and not much shoulders, but you'll use the core. So you can see how these exercises sometimes overlap with each other and, share different muscles, share different characteristics. Because a front lever is basically just an upside down planche, or like an opposite planche. And that means it's mostly the same movement. So you will have some overlapping muscles. And same goes with like some other skills, like the sat and the Maltese, right? That's basically just opposite movements, just flipped around. And so you'll have some overlying things because it's so similar. Another thing is being good at pull or being good at push doesn't mean you'll be good at the other one. It doesn't overlap like that. I'm sorry. But you can be good at, let's say, planche. You could have a full planche but be stuck at a tuck front lever. I'm pretty similar to this. I have a straddle planche. It's not full yet, but I have a straddle planche and like an advanced tuck front lever. Well, yeah, and trying to build it up, trying to kind of even it out. But yeah. So these, being good at one, you have to train both basically at the same time or same time frame. In order to be good at one, you can't just train Maltese or train planche and expect to be getting sat gains as well. Although I wish that's how it worked. But the last thing I want to mention is for lever skills, for the front lever, obviously, the back lever, and the planche. Those skills are generally going to be harder for taller people. And that means it'll take longer to learn, and you'll have to put in more hours. So the reason for this, I'm not really sure. It's like leverage or something. I'm not going to go into that, but just know that those skills are harder for taller people. But skills like handstand push-ups, handstand pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, all of that just depends on your weight, not really your height, because it's not this, it's this, right? Your body in the lever movements is parallel to the ground, meaning it all wants to come down. But in this, just this wants to come down. So the height doesn't matter there. So just wanted you to know that. But yeah, that's really it. I made some bonus videos, so if you want to take a look at those, you can. But if not, thank you so much for watching this course. I really appreciate it. I worked very hard on it, actually. It takes forever to upload these videos. And anyways, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this community while you're at it. All right, so this is a quick kind of overview of every benefit I've noticed that's really helped. And I'm going to really try to focus on the not talked about ones, just personal stuff that I've noticed, because I'm not trying to make another video of top 10 benefits of calisthenics. Like, no one cares, right? Muscle strength, we all know that. I'm going to go more like what I've noticed during my time, stuff that's a little more rare online. So really the first thing and the most important to me has been, I have a niche now. I have like a thing that I'm known for. And so in my friend group or in my school, there's the football people, there's the whatever sport people. And in my group, there's a golfer. That's like what he's known as. There's a wrestler and just a bunch of random people. And I was super jealous of all of them because they each had their own thing that they were good at. And for most of my life, I never had that. Like, I'd played a bunch of sports. I did soccer, I did basketball, I did baseball, but I was never known for any of them because I wasn't the best at any of them. Like, there were people better than me in my friend group in everything. And calisthenics was really the first thing I started that I'm known for now because I'm the best at it. That's really what I'm known for in my friend group, but also a lot of the school. And yeah, that's kind of what my thing is. The second thing is that the strength transfers over really, really well. For example, my bench 6 months ago, which is when I stopped benching, was 175 for one. And I have never trained bench since then, but I've been training calisthenics instead, right? Because I stopped because I was just getting sore and it was wasting my energy that could have been used for calisthenics. And so I've been cold turkey ever since then. But around 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks, I don't know, some time ago, I benched and I was doing incline bench. I hit 175 for like 4 or 5. And that surprised me because I've never benched since then. And I don't know what my max is now, right? Because that was for incline. That wasn't even for normal bench. But I just repped my max from 6 months ago. So I don't know. I'm curious, but I also don't really want to try. So I guess we'll never know. Another thing is just I can handstand or planche anywhere really. So that's nice. I went on a walk with my friend and he filmed me and I just handstanded wherever looked interesting and I made it into an Instagram reel. So yeah, nothing else besides that. But another very cool thing, or not cool, but like unique thing, is your grip actually gets a lot stronger. And so I recently opened this jar of, I don't remember what it was, but I noticed how easy it was. It just like popped open. So maybe that was just luck and it was already loose, or maybe I just got super good grip now. So yeah, do your muscle ups, kids. Another thing is I've gotten a lot better socially talking to people because I've met people through calisthenics. I've met this group of guys that are my age, and that's what we like. That's what brings us together, and we motivate each other, and it's super fun to see. People have also asked me in the gym what I'm doing and how they can start, which has also been nice for practicing talking to strangers. So yeah, that's just another benefit that has really helped, like overlapped with other things I need to work on. So that was great. The last thing is just, it's a great motivator, like to eat healthy. I mean, I want to stay pretty lean so I can continue training. And so whenever I'm feeling like something sweet, or whenever I'm just being lazy or something, I just remember my planche because it's such a ingrained part of me now that I don't want to lose it. And it's kind of an irrational fear because I know that one sweet thing won't hurt, but I don't know. It just helps with my discipline, and it's just nice to have an extra boost of motivation when other types don't work as well, right? Yeah, like obviously, if a friend or a family member has baked something like homemade, then I would, because I would try to, if I'm gonna eat something sweet, it might as well be with family, like in a party or just a gathering or something. But yeah, so obviously I'm not perfect. I eat stuff too, but I try to save it for when I'm with other people to make it more fun and less sad, I guess. So yeah, those are really the things I've noticed, along with strength and muscle. But again, everyone knows those. Um, yeah, I don't know. If I find any more, I can make an update to this always. So thanks for watching. All right. So this is really just a bonus because it's connected to calisthenics, but it's not really part of that niche. So I kind of made it just its own separate thing. So music is pretty important when you're working out in general, but I'm here to talk about calisthenics. So the first tip that I really recommend is having an intense song. And I'm sure you do this already, but I'm going to go kind of deeper into it. I'm going to say, if you've ever seen a clip of someone doing some cool calisthenics skill, use that same song, or use a song that you like that you've seen people do cool tricks in, because for me, it makes me feel like stronger because I'm envisioning what they did, and it kind of makes me feel lighter and more pumped up to do what I'm doing, which is easier. So let's say I found a song that was very good and someone was doing a planche push-up. I don't know, random thing, because I can't do that. So I would use that song if I like it in my own workout, and it kind of just automatically brings me back to that clip, and it makes me feel stronger about what I'm doing, because I'm it's not comparing. I guess it is comparing. I'm comparing it to the harder version, which makes me believe my thing is easier, which makes me more motivated that I'm able to do it and can do it for a long time. So that's really helped me. Otherwise, just find a song that you like and that's pretty intense, because obviously you're not going to work out with like meditation music, because I feel like you'd be less strong than if you just weren't listening to anything. So yeah, another thing is about the tempo. And I've noticed that if I'm doing sets and reps, so if I'm doing like muscle ups or advanced tuck planche push-ups or anything like that, handstand push-ups, then a slower or medium pace intense song works good, because it kind of drags out, which is more time, which when you're doing sets and reps you need, right? Because that also takes more time compared to if I'm doing a static skill like front lever or planche or something like that, handstand. You kind of need a quicker song, because a slow song wouldn't motivate you as much, I would think, at least in my opinion, in my experience. That's just how it works. So just keep in mind the speed of the song and how it can affect strength or motivation. Like, both of them would work. I've just noticed that for me, faster songs work better for statics, and slower / medium songs that are intense work better for sets and reps. So yeah, that's really all I have. I just wanted to explain those in a separate video, because I don't really know which video I would put it in if it wasn't in a separate video. So I hope that was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you in the next bonus, which is diet. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my first course ever, and I'm proud of what I've put in it. From now on, I'm going to try to make each course a little more specific, because this was just overall like a general thing, but I'm going to try to go more in depth into different skills. I can do different training routines. I can do diets and stuff. Really, there's a lot of choices, and I'm already working on the next one. I'm not going to reveal what it is yet, but it should be out pretty soon, and I'm very excited about it, just like this one. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed and learned a lot, because for each of these courses, I'm going to try to put in information that isn't really well known out there. And so yeah, thank you so much. Have a good day.